All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I'm going through a series of 7 different presentations from docs.microsoft.com on the Entity Framework Database first with ASP.NET MVC. This is being done as part of the Rankin Technical College Application and Web Development AWD1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases course. So far I've done parts 1, 2, and 3. Getting started with the Entity Framework 6 database, first using MVC, creating the web application and data models, and generating views. So I'm up to Part 4, changing the database. Here we are going to make an update to the database structure. In particular, we are going to add a column to our student table, and we are going to add a new column field called middle name. We are also going to propagate that change throughout the entire application. All right. So as it says, if you update a structure of a table in a database, you need to ensure that the change is propagated to the data model, to the views, and the controller. Not exactly as simplistic as you might think it is. So for this tutorial, as mentioned, we're going to add a new column to the student table for the middle name. To add this column, as it says, we will open up the database project, we'll open up the student.sql file, and we will go in through the designer and we will add the new field. All right, so I'm going to do that next, right now. And as I already mentioned to you, I've got printing going on in the background, so I apologize ahead of time for any extraneous noise that may create. All right. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to go to my student folder. I'm going to right mouse click on it and choose View Designer. All right. Then I'm going to come in here and I've got my last name and first name, and afterwards I'm going to replicate this line but make that middle name. So this should be middle name. I'm getting the error because I've got 2 fields by the same name. All right. So let's do a save all and close this. All right. So we just made that change. I'm going to close a few of these things. I may end up needing them again later. But for now, I'm just going to close them. All right, I made my change. You saw that I made my change just to verify. We added the middle name field. There it is. All right, and I did a save all, and I stopped here. All right. Deploy the change to the local database by starting your database project or clicking F5. The new field should be added to the table. It says if you do not see it, click the refresh button in the pane. Let's double check. So come back to here. Let's start our project by hitting F5. We'll do that F5 instead of doing the run. That's fine. Now let's look over here under Student, Columns. There's our middle name. So you see that it has been added. So this new column now does exist in the database table, but it does not exist in the model class. So we must update the model to include the new column in the models folder. So we have to open up what we created before, which was not from here, I'm sorry. We have to open up that EDMX file that we created. And where the hay is that? Let's close a bunch of this stuff. So we know it's not in there. Should be able to close enrollments, home. Oops. Thought it was in models. .edmx.diagram. All right. Well, that's not good. There is no .edmx in here. It's open. We're going to have to make a couple changes, but I have to check and make sure this is running correctly. So I'm going to pause momentarily. All right, as the saying goes, my bad. There was the diagram file, but this is the file I need right here. All right. Double check and make sure I'm recording. I am. All right. So the new column exists in the database table, but not in this model class. You must update the model to include your new column. In the models folder, open the Contoso model.edmx file, which I have open now, to display the model diagram. Notice that the student model does not contain the middle name property. Right-click anywhere on the design surface and choose Update Model from Database. All right. In the Update wizard that comes up, select the Refresh tab and the Student table. Click Finish. There's our middle name property. Now it did put it here below the enrollment date, but I'm not worried about that. After the process is finished, the database diagram includes the new middle name property. Save the Contoso model.edmx file. You must save this file for the new property to be propagated to the student.cs class. You have now updated both the database and the model. Build the solution. So first let's save. We'll do a save all here. Got the little star there, which should go away. There, it's been saved. We don't need that diagram file in there either. All right. It's this. All right. Build the solution. Build solution. And we're on the last page of this, and it says here, so I went through and did all this stuff. You saw it. All right. All right. It says here, unfortunately, the views still do not contain the new property. To update the views, you have two options. You can either regenerate the views by once again adding scaffolding, all right, or you can manually add the property to the existing views. In this tutorial, we will add the scaffolding again because we have not made customized changes to the automatically generated views. It says you might want to consider this. You might want to consider manually adding when you have made changes to the views and do not want to lose those changes. We have not done that. To ensure the views are recreated, delete the Students folder under Views and delete the Students controller. All right, so we're going to come in here. We're going to delete the students folder under views. And we're going to delete the student control under our controllers. I believe that's the one we want to do. I'm going to double check to be sure. All right, and delete, then right click the controllers folder. So yeah, this is what we want to do. So we want to delete this. All right. Then finally, we want to right click the controllers folder and add the scaffolding for the student model again. Keep the name of the student's controller. Click OK. So we want to again right mouse click on here, choose add, choose new scaffolded item, choose MVC controller with views using entity framework, add. We want to choose students in here, student. We want the Contoso, we want all this, we want students controllers. We want to click add. That'll come back and add that in here, and it'll add the folder back in here. So there's the new student controller, or the re-added student controller, and our students here. All right. The views should now contain the middle name property. Let's double check and verify that indeed they do. So I'm going to come back and I'll go to my student index here and view this in the browser. Which I don't see. But let's create new. There's the middle name. All right. There's the middle name. We haven't added any. I guess that does make sense. Details, middle name, good. Edit, middle name, good. So we could add any of those if we were so inclined to do so. And delete, middle name, good. All right. Not sure why it puts that at the end. It's got something to do with the fact that the code that's creating this is different than the actual database. All right. So in the next section, we will add code to customize the view for showing details about a student record. All right. And I won't lie to you, I have 5, 6, and 7 left. Okay, close this. Number 5. Let me save this. Okay, and I can just leave that open. And I can forget about that. But what I want to show you is we have now done getting started, creating the web app, generating views, and changing the database. What's left is customizing a view and enhancing data validation and publishing to Azure. So I will do those tomorrow.